Good evening, WrestleTalkShow fans. I am your host, Joshua Zimmerman, again with my colleague and wrestling insider, James Kincade. And we were sitting around off air and decided it would be better to put this on air. Uh, where we think TNA stands, I'd like to hear if you listen to part 1 and 2 of TNA with No Wellness Policy, our latest installments. We talk about that, and Eric Bischoff apparently is doing private studies on TNA viewers that apparently like his product.
Yeah,
Um,
people that are probably only in his mind, just so you know.
well, emphasize that. Is it possible that we have another WCW here where quietly he's paying people to fight all the critics, more or less, to
It
throw?
really would not surprise me, because honestly, I would like to meet these actual TNA marks that are tuning in because the product's so great. And from what everybody's been telling me, because I hardly watch TNA, even when I had cable, I just could not stand it. That this is the greatest product. That hell, this is the rival to WWE.
Well,
Yeah.
that opens up the door to what we were talking about off air too. And are they are they going up, or is it a game of, like I was talking to you a little bit ago, where it's just the workers at this point know that if they lose their job, they suck so bad that they got no other brand that would take them, because they've taken actual gold mines. Again, I'll reference your AJ Styles, and you just name a wrestler, and TNA's probably destroyed possibilities. Um, where is it that do these wrestlers now want to be her friend because they know if it goes to hell in a handbasket that they can't go anywhere else because they basically burnt their bridge by staying with TNA?
No, I would think it's more along the lines they just want a steady job. They're just afraid that they're going to lose their job. Is all. Because honestly, if like an AJ Styles get a free agent tomorrow night, it really wouldn't surprise me that you hear that he got picked up at WWE. Now mind you, I have my own issues with WWE's, standard like of the wrestlers,
but we can hop right on and post a video, because I think it's safe to say Cena, just to name one right now, isn't going to move out of the way. And WWE being the way WWE is, even if that scenario, that theory came true, I don't think WWE would even be thinking about pushing him in the way that he should be pushed.
well, to be fair, let's get into this then. My only major issue is that my major issue with WWE is the fact that they don't let these wrestlers, be their wrestlers. Meaning, what I mean is, of course, you've seen AJ Styles matches. I'm
Yeah,
sure
and then
if you haven't, you can easily look them up.
And then I've seen what management has told AJ Styles to do and call it a match. There is a difference.
Right. You look at an AJ Styles match from like NWA TNA back when it was on Wednesday pay-per-view, then compare it to what he could end up doing in WWE, and you'll note, yeah, there's a completely different style there. And sometimes they can make it work, but a lot of times, I didn't make him, so fuck him. Now, with regards to AJ, with regards to John Cena, I don't think that he'd have any problem with stepping back, because he seems like, in my opinion, with what everything that's been looking like, Cena may be a corporate, wrestler, he's the go-to guy, but I don't think he's a corporate dance kicker for starters that people make him seem to be.
All right. Well, all right, if we're going to get into that, we got to kind of come up with a topic here, so I won't venture too far into this. But how do you even say that when now just using the example again, because we'll go right back to TNA, but even on their Facebook pages, they're told how to word things and more or less to word them in character. It's not you're seeing the man behind the wrestler. Like, that was the reason I became a member of his Facebook page, because I thought you were going to see posts that were out of wrestler. And now now you hear that all of these, and you see on WWE.com their direct links, that they're more or less Facebook pages molded to the way, yes, they have John Cena's likeness on it, but it's not John Cena. It's not the man who is John Cena. It's John Cena posting these things. So,
yeah, which I agree is a stupid move. You lose
it's like at least have
interaction.
Yeah, exactly. At least have one outlet where he doesn't have to follow a cue card.
Right. Yeah, I agree with that. But I mean, like I said, you often get that feeling at some times, at some point that this guy isn't going to be, oh, well, this is my spot and that's all. Maybe he is, but I don't know. It's really tough to call right now.
Well,
you know what I mean? Because you really haven't seen anybody vie for it. True?
You haven't really, but I'm not trying to let it out of the bag here, but the WrestleTalkShow fans know. I thought the way John Cena kind of passed the torch at SummerSlam to Daniel Bryanson was John Cena saying, "Go get him, kid. We put you through the ringers. Go take your 5 minutes and show this fucking crowd what you're all about." And he did just that. Like, John Cena, I think it was in a move, but it more or less like he stepped aside and let Daniel Bryan just clean house. And I thought that was good. That shows that, yeah, you're a younger guy, you're the rising star, but you also know talent. You're not so blinded that when somebody else comes up behind you, you're not like, who the fuck are you?
Right, which is my issue with that whole Sheamus thing, where, yeah, he was new, but at the same time, people were screaming, "We want new." They gave him new. Who are you?
But I mean, getting back to the Eric Bischoff thing, since we ran it about Dixie, and we'll come full circle within the last 2 minutes. What sources is he getting his information from?
I would like to know this too. I'm thinking the guy's coming out of this shit with it all in his head. He's just pulling out random shit out of his head just to make himself look good. Because honestly, we haven't heard anything about these sources. They just seem to be random people that states, "Oh, I want a tournament." Quite frankly, I've never heard any wrestling fan go, "Oh, a tournament would go great here."
Now, and this is only meant for humor, WrestleTalk fans, you can check my browser and probably find duplicate copies of everything else in this world that's on the internet. But I have never, except for outside of literally once, been to the TNA website. So I don't, are these like polls on their website? Most people, when they come onto a broadcast, whether it be radio, TV, or otherwise, when they present facts, within the next couple days, the hosts can reference the sources. But Eric Bischoff just seems to get in front of whoever's interviewing him and take it as an opportunity to throw shots back. ROH's leading man, his name off the top of my head right now is a blur. Not a blur, but it's just, you know what I mean. It's just not coming to mind. But he's quoted as saying he doesn't think Eric Bischoff knows what he's doing. And this is a former WWE guy, WCW, a guy that was in the thick of all the operations. And this is a guy in your own industry telling you more or less that you don't belong here.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and then on top of that, mind you, I haven't been on the TNA website either. But like I said, I don't remember anybody stating, you know, what match would go great where, especially a tournament. A tournament is supposed to be, you know, less of my check, an out of the blue thing where, you know, if a wrestler vacates or even they just want to have a tournament, you know, they could have a tournament and it's like, oh my God. Well, with the exception of the King of the Ring, which became an annual thing, but it just annoys me that you got him stating, oh, well, it's what the people wanted.
And we'll use the last couple minutes to discuss this and kind of come full circle since this was a Dixie rant. But now she's getting heat because over the last couple weeks you've seen that her invasion didn't work at all the way she thought it was going to. People tuned in for Hardcore Justice to see the ECW guys, and what do you know? The following week, they were right back down where they were. They thought that Hardcore Justice and giving the image that now they're pushing Tommy Dreamer, but they literally thought that they could do this in a way that WWE didn't, and they thought they could ride back. Oh, WWE didn't do it right, but we have new plans for it. And thought that the fan base was just going to follow out of command, more or less, when all you got was you gave ECW its tribute show. The ECW old school fans obviously tuned in. You got a spike for that pay-per-view, and that was it. Your ratings are right back where they were, if not worse. You've got two of the shadiest people in the business, one of them writing directly for you. And they come up to Dixie Carter at the end of the day and say you're revolutionizing wrestling. And not to make her sound stupid, but I think because of her lack of knowledge and lack of being a promoter, I don't want to say all the promoters are dicks, but if you're going to be a promoter, as we've said in many vidcasts here, that there's some kind of backbone that you have to have in making tough calls, and it seems like she's always out of the realm of having to make those tough calls, or doesn't want to. What do you, in the last few minutes, we'll go back and forth. What do you think she should be the owner and hire like an on-camera manager? That way her orders aren't being relayed directly by her. What do you think would kind of fix it so it doesn't look out of place like it does?
Well, to be honest with you, let's start off with the fact that I find Dixie Carter a little bit of a hypocrite because of the fact that, oh, I don't want to be on camera. I don't want to be on camera. Really? And why the fuck are you on camera? And second of all, I don't know. I don't even think that an on-screen manager or a general manager would even matter because in the end, she's probably still not going to be able to, make those tough calls because apparently it's out of her realm. I think she needs to toughen up a bit. Realize that, you got too many people in your ear. Get the Q-tip, get them out of your ear, and maybe actually look at your product, look at other products, and hell, even look at wrestling reviews if you have to.
We're gonna come.
If you don't already, and actually sit down and realize, this program isn't working anymore.
We're going to come back with part 2, WrestleTalkShow fans. And in part 2, we'll discuss when does the network say when? When does Spike say, we're carrying this for you. When we brought you on, you had decent ratings. And now you're not even pulling what we would call decent. There's sometimes you're lucky if you get a 1 point anything. Your pay-per-views are less and less buys, and then you have those instances where they give away pay-per-views on free shows. All that and more on part 2. Stay tuned.